Welcome back, Wayward Souls at the Double Tap In, episode 4.
There it is.
There it is. There you got it. So, if you guys have been keeping up, we've been doing an episode on cooking or something barbecue related, and then we have an airing of the grievances. And today, ladies and gentlemen, is an airing of the grievances. So sit back, get your stuff ready. All right. If you've got some grievances to be aired, remember you can email them to us at waywardsouls88@gmail.com, and we'll get them on here. Mike, I know we have a follow up, and I'm excited to hear what came from the post office. So, hey, good to see you, buddy.
It's good to see you too, brother. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
So, following the last episode, we discussed the package of mine that was delayed and possibly lost. And I get the update that says your package was sent from Berlin, from the post office that's 346 yards away, back to Aberdeen. And it'll be delivered tomorrow, is what I get. Okay. So it does arrive. Now, it is a fly fishing case. And my fly rod that goes in this, when you break it down, is 50 inches. So I get a box that is literally 6 feet tall. And I look at the box and it's pristine. I mean, pristine. I look at the labels that are on it and they're dated for that day. So it's been sitting in Berlin for 3 or 4 days. It gets shipped back to Aberdeen. It comes back to me in a pristine box with shipping labels that were made that day. And I went, well, something's not right. So I open it up. I look at it. Yep, it's perfect. Everything's perfect inside the box. The only thing I could figure was it got damaged somewhere in transit. Now, I take the 50-inch case out. And why is it in a 6-foot box? That much of that 50-inch case was sticking out of the top of the other box. So they just shoved another box on top and sealed it up. Yeah. Right. Exactly right. Exactly. And that's exactly
Were there labels? Were there labels on the inside box?
No. Nope. Not a thing.
That's a shame.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what the hell happened. And the only thing I can figure is it must have got damaged at Berlin or in transit to Berlin. And they said, yeah, we can't deliver that. And that's bullshit because they don't care.
Mm-hmm. They don't care.
So I catch the mail guy. And I say, hey, man, I got a question for you. What's the deal? And he goes, man, that's way above my pay grade. I can't even begin to understand some of the stuff they do. But when it's in the queue to get in my truck to be delivered, I deliver it. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
So, new shipping story. I order from Amazon and the store, the A. I'm going to say Amazon now because it doesn't matter. And it arrives today. Yep. I get it. I open it up. And what's inside? One blister pack of batteries. All of that for that. All I can say is Amazon must get a hell of a deal on shipping. That's all. Yeah,
they have to.
Gotta be.
There's no other way. Yeah.
Because they were cheap. For batteries. Batteries are a little expensive now. They are cheap. So what do you have for airing of the grievances? You got anything good?
Well, so after our show where we talked about the post office and we talked about the FedEx fuck ups, I remembered I have a buddy that works for the post office, and I can't remember if I mentioned that or not. And we saw him, and I said, hey, why would this happen? How can it scan in here? Next thing you know, it ends up there. What's the deal? And it was basically the same thing. He's like, look, I don't really know because there's two unions within the post office, and there might be more, but there's the postal carriers that have their union. And then there's the people that work in the store and sort and do all that kind of stuff, which is a separate union. So if the carriers are they're not busy, like packing their truck or doing whatever they do, sometimes they're asked to go in and help sort and do all that kind of stuff. Well, the sorters union gets all pissed because it's taking away their work.
Yeah.
Right. So it was kind of the same response. I don't really know, man. It ends up in my truck. I take it out. He said, but what he's seen happen on the couple times that he's done that and he's helped the sorters is like a pallet will come in and they'll scan they'll scan something on the pallet, and I guess they have assigned everything into that pallet and that barcode, and it may not actually be in that pallet. So they're scanning it, and then they're like, oh, yep, the pallet has gotten here where it's supposed to be, and it's not actually there. And then if for some reason it gets scanned somewhere else and it's back in Aberdeen. So I don't know if that might make a little bit of sense. I don't know.
And like I said, it was an abnormally large. It's one of the biggest packages I've ever seen come from United Postal Service, being delivered. I was expecting, half the size it was. So, it may have had to do with size too, because size matters apparently.
Size matters, absolutely. Yeah. So, I know we had talked in between. Did I have anything that I wanted to bitch about? I mean, I always got something.
We always do at some point or another.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything that was taking the cake.
So you heard this past week that the great gurus in DC have banned TikTok in the United States.
I have. Yes.
Yeah.
Seems like a real big priority for everything we've got going on right now.
Right. And that's exactly what, I don't know if you saw my Facebook post from last night or not, but here we are, we're in the middle of a diabetic drug crisis. Diabetics can't get their injectables because they're being used for other things and creating such a demand that diabetics can't get them. And a good friend of ours is pushing 3 weeks without getting his diabetic drugs. And, it's quite the crisis. You think that the bozos in DC would try to address the situation. Instead, they're worried about a China-based company, TikTok, and what information they can possibly be stealing. I'd be more concerned with the diabetic drug crisis and also the $859 trillion debt load that China is carrying from the United States. But of course, I'm not a politician, so what the hell do I really know about that stuff?
Yeah.
What's so critical in the data that China is getting from me off TikTok that is of national security?
Right. And it's not like they're not going to get it from somewhere else.
Yeah, 100. Meta is the biggest data stealer of all of them, and that includes Google and all the other big companies that take your data and sell it for advertising purposes. That's why when you type something in your phone, I bought a pair of flip-flops the other day, and now I'm getting every flip-flop company in the world. My ads are popping up on everything I look at, and they're worried about TikTok because they can't control it and make money off of it is what it is.
Yeah. I was watching a movie, or it's more of a documentary about social media and all that kind of stuff. And I want to say it was like the social experiment or something. It was something on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it was really good. But one of the things that really hit me with it was, if you're not paying for it, like, you're the product. Like, someone else is buying it and paying 100%. For like whatever you're doing. So all that Facebook stuff, the Instagram, anything like Google. And I love Google. Yep. But if you're not paying for it, you're the product. And that hit me, and it was like, holy shit. Like, all of the stuff that we do, and you're like, oh yeah, sign up for this, sign up for that, and use it, play with it, whatever. Games on your phone. And it's the same thing.
100%.
Like they're watching when you do whatever you're doing, like how long, all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's nothing I do online that I believe is secure.
No.
Everything I do is, I know that there is an element of privacy invasion of some sort. And that's what Facebook was sued for, and they lost because they violated their own end user agreement policy by taking information they weren't supposed to and selling to people they weren't supposed to. So, it exists. Yeah, okay. If they want to regulate something, then look at your homegrown companies first, and then you can judge companies from other places. And if you're going to be doing $859 trillion in debt service with a foreign country, and the issue's China, I don't necessarily think so. I mean, it's bigger than that.
Yeah. And I would argue that, again, TikTok, like, who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
right. 100%.
If that's, like the diabetic drug crisis that we're going through, what about our homeless veterans?
Yes.
Like the mental health crisis that's going on with not only them but first responders. We have a buddy, he works at Salisbury University and is very in tune with the police department there and with Salisbury police and all that kind of stuff. And he says they're not having the student drinking parties that they used to. And he said, I really think that is leading to some of this mental health problems that the students are having. The incidences of all of that are rising. It's because they're sitting behind a computer like we are right now.
Yep.
And they're worried about likes, what gets shared, what gets said on something about somebody else that they have no control over.
Yep.
When they could be going out to a party, having a great time, having a beer, relaxing. Hey, you know what? Go smoke some weed.
Yep. And face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
They're not getting
absolutely.
That. And that all started, piggybacking all that with COVID.
Yeah.
And they got more dependent upon doing this and doing this with the phone. So, I agree 100% with you.
Yeah. Now, I will say that there were a few good things that came out of COVID. To-go drinks, that was fantastic. It was great to be able to order some wings and a margarita from this little place up the street. Right? I'm walking. I don't get, like, they're not going to do anything to me.
Yep, that's right.
But sip my margarita with my wings on the way back to the house and eat it in peace and quiet. Now, do I go eat wings and drink margaritas there with friends? Oh yeah, it's a great time. But that to-go drinks, that was something to write home about.
Yeah. It's a shame certain things. Are they doing that now? Because I know at one point you couldn't pick it up. You could.
I think you still can.
Okay. Yeah, maybe
I think you're
mobile.
Yeah, I think you still can. Again, you just can't. Okay. Like, it's got to be sealed or something like that, where you you can't drink it on your way home.
That's fantastic. That's a good time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, here's a question: if I'm not the driver, am I allowed to drink it? What's the open container?
You're not supposed to have
no
an
open container
within reach of the driver, which is pretty much anywhere in the vehicle.
Well, shit, if I sit in the third row, driver's not going to reach that.
You can argue that, and I believe it says within reach of the driver. So
okay,
it's been a moment since I've had to read my law book. So
right, and I knew it would be that would be something that would be pretty easy. That's a softball for you, but can make that work.
Yeah, I've only seen that citation written once, and it is not a traffic citation. I believe it is a civil infraction. I'm not 100% sure about that. I've only seen it written once. So,
okay, all right, yeah. So what else you got going on? Heard you went fishing. How'd that go?
We did not. We got blown out.
It was terrible yesterday.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. Fortunately, I'm dealing with a really good boat captain who has ethics and morals. And he called me the night before and he said, "Hey man, I'm not going to take your money. It is blowing a gale. It's going to be cold. You're going to be miserable. I'm going to be miserable. I'm not taking your money. And he very
Perfect.
easily could have. Oh, absolutely. And I'll tell you
Yeah.
right now, it was C.L. Marshall from Tangier Charters, and he's very good at what he does, and he has ethics, and that's what I look for in a boat captain. Not only is he a great fisherman, he can put you on the fish. When we started this conversation weeks ago, it was, listen, if we're catching fish, do you mind staying out after dark? Because if we're catching fish, I'm going to stay as long as you possibly can. I said, that's fantastic. So I know you're going to get your money's worth if you hook up with him and do a charter too. So
very nice. Very nice. What were you fishing for?
It would have been anything we could put in the boat.
Nice.
So I wanted to target red drum, but they're not quite here yet. And so it would have been some trout and some bluefish and things like that.
All right. So overall, it didn't work out to be bad anyway that you couldn't go.
Yeah.
Maybe it gives a little more time. The water need to warm up a little for the drum.
Some. We did great a couple of weeks ago with my neighbor's a boat captain. We took his new boat out, and the water temperature was getting up into the mid 50s. And that's fantastic for what we're doing. And then, of course, we get that cold snap where it's been 35 degrees in the morning, maybe even a little frost, which we had the other day.
Yeah.
And
we had some here today.
Oh, I believe it. I absolutely believe it. And it's driving the water temperature down. And, of course, the fish go deeper and they move to other areas when they start getting a little chilly. They get real sluggish and don't want to eat. So it has slowed what I thought we would be doing down at this point in the season. But, that's nature. Nature always wins.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The one nice thing is that the pollen is starting to go away.
Oh, my God.
That has been, I know we talked about it before. That has been the worst that it has been here in as long as I can remember.
Yes. Same here.
That was,
Yeah, same here. I don't know if I mentioned last time, made the mistake when we lived in the Pines, leaving the windows open. And then, I was working night patrol, open the windows, go to bed, whatever, and wake up and had the green funk, all that tree cum all over the place. And I mean, it was bad. And you can clean that shit forever and a day. And it always seems to pop up a week later. You fluff a pillow you've not touched since that time frame, and all of a sudden, you get the green flying around.
Yep. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah. Hey, so by the time this show airs, this will be probably start the middle of May. Our good friend Todd Lampman. I know we've talked offline about this, but he is finishing up his final season as the baseball coach at Snow Hill High School. So congrats, Todd.
Yes,
I was an athletic trainer before doing what I'm doing now. I was an athletic trainer for 16 years, and Todd was one of the top 2 coaches that I've ever had the chance to work with, and that was Division 1, 2, and 3, high school, amateurs, all kinds of stuff. Just a phenomenal coach. So it's good to see him, at that point where he says, "I've done all I can do here." It's been a great career, state title, a couple of state appearances, numerous Bayside and regional accolades. So he's definitely going to be one of those guys that's going to have to come on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And just a hysterical guy. Yes. Holy cow. One of the funniest people I think I know.
I think I told you we were neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
We were neighbors in Berlin, and we played ball together in the whole 9 yards. The biggest fault that Todd has was he would come to your house and drink all your beer and go home.
That sounds about right.
We would play ball and come back to the house, and of course, his son was real young, and so we would sit on my front porch and have a couple of chilies, after playing ball, and all of a sudden you realize you're out of beer. It starts out as solving life problems over a cold beer. Next thing you know,
There's no
Holy
more
shit,
cold beer.
no more cold beer, And that happened, once or twice a week. And, we were younger then. Our livers were in better shape. And,
Yeah. I was gonna say I know he still enjoys a frosty beverage, but I don't know that he consumes them at the rate that he used to.
and you talk about a hell of a ball player. I mean, he was
Oh yeah.
really spot on, and you could just see the thought process when he was playing
Oh yeah.
of what needed to be done before it actually happened. It
Oh
was
yeah.
a fantastic learning experience playing with him the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. He so he was in the time that we worked together at Snow Hill, we helped set up the Athletic Hall of Fame that they do every year now. And he got the idea from some parents had mentioned it, but he was inducted, and he wouldn't tell you this. He was inducted into the Hampton Sydney College, University, whatever they are,
Yeah.
where he played ball, and then he coached there for a couple years. He was inducted into their Hall of Fame as a hitter and as a player, all around, just a phenomenal athlete. So, yeah, he won't talk about it. He won't tell you much about it, but it's funny. Like when the kids would start giving him some shit on the field, he'd be like, "All right, let's go, set it up." He'd get behind the plate, and he could put the ball wherever he wanted to. It was hysterical.
Yep. Yep. And I can see him doing that. Lessons learned. Youth sometimes need to be shown a little bit.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
He's just the man for the job.
Man.
Congratulations, Todd. You've certainly earned everything you've gotten.
Yeah. No Congrats, my friend. Yeah. Yeah. I'll never forget. He was teaching them how to bunt, or like not teaching them how to bunt, but showing them how to bunt better. And he started bunting off the end of the bat, like turned it lengthwise and off the end of the barrel of the bat. I was like, you got to be shitting me.
Wow.
He's like, did you get that on camera? I was like, I was speechless. I couldn't do anything. And all the kids were like, their jaws were on the field. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was impressive. So
and that's quite the feat.
Yeah, right. And you figure it's the same size as the ball, so you can't. You don't want to miss because you'll eat it.
Oh yeah, I'd be terrified. I'd be absolutely terrified. Even try that, Plus, I'm an old man with poor vision. All that. How I do that and it strike me in the forehead. Well, I kept my eye on the ball, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Oh, Todd Lampman. That could be a whole series in itself. Of Todd.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. For 100%. Yeah, we just better shut up and let him tell stories.
Oh, right.
Or you hear from us laughing.
Yeah. All right, and welcome back. Episode 78 with Todd Lampman. Here we go. Oh, you, Todd.
100%. Here's another beer.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Whew.
Yeah, that team. I put together a team. I was playing Fire EMS, the employee league in Ocean City, and it was a handful of ball players, but for whatever reason, we kept getting our ass kicked. I mean, everybody was beating us. Wastewater was beating us. The trash guys everybody was just kicking the shit out of us, and it was getting embarrassing. So, love Doug Scott to death. He comes to me and he said, "Hey man, they do like an over 30 league in Shao. You think we can get a team together and go play the Shao league and do this and do that?" And I went, "Well, yeah, you're kind of running this team. How about I try to get a sponsor and we'll put us in that Shao league?" And that's what we did. And I got Todd and a bunch of gentlemen that I played Tuesday, Thursday league with in Ocean City and had a lot of experience playing ball. And we went over there and mopped the floor with everybody. We couldn't schedule a practice to start with. So the first game we played, we did not do as well as we should have.
Mm-hmm.
We swept the division. We go to the championships, and we won the first game. It was, best 2 out of 3. And the guys were upset. The other team was upset, and they started talking a lot of trash and doing all this kind of stuff. So we all decided we were going to have some fun. So we all played different positions than what we normally do. It was just, and we basically threw the game. And then the other team really started talking a lot of trash on us. I mean, it was, they were getting pretty ignorant with what they were saying. And we slaughter ruled them the second game and just laughed as we were leaving, heading to our coolers in the park. Yeah, okay, you got fucked with. So yeah, and Todd was a big part of that team, and I'm glad he agreed to play with us and all that. And I'm glad he met the age requirement. That was a big thing. You know, he showed up the first thing. Well, he's younger than 30. Maybe it was 35. No, it was 30. He said, well, he's got to be younger than 30. And he pulls out his birth certificate written in green crayon with a $20 bill attached to it. It says, I am 30. And handed it to me. Okay.
Yeah, I do remember maybe it was the Salisbury League, because he got back into another league a couple years ago. And it was like an over whatever league, but they were allowed to have one person below that. And he was like, and he was that one. So
I'll be your huckleberry.
Yeah. And then it'd be funny. He'd come in. He's like, "Hey, I got some time to take a look at me today?" I was like, "Sure do, buddy. Not a problem." And then we'd start treatments for him, and he's like, "You think I'm getting too old for this?" I was like, "It's all up to you, man. Like, you know, I'm here for you." So yeah, there's a couple of times we wrapped him up. We'd wrap him up for practice, and then we'd have to wrap him up for the game that night, because it's not like he's not going to go.
Right, 100%.
You know, like he's going to go. He's going to be there, and he's going to play, whether it's good for him or not. So,
I understand that mentality. You know, and here I am 2 weeks away from getting my shoulder fixed, so I completely understand.
Right?
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. How you feeling about that?
You know, it's going to be
ready to go.
I'm ready to go. I wanted it done 3 or 4 months ago, but you know, healthcare in around here isn't. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not what you expect it to be, and you know, I think I've told you my trials and tribulations with the shoulder. Yeah. And thankfully, I got sent to MedStar, and they're going to take care of it. And I'm hoping that after a couple of months, I'm able to hold my dick while I pee and feed myself with my right hand. So we'll see how that goes.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of the healthcare around here is like it's the big fish in a little pond.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like there are some very good physicians and some very good PAs and very good healthcare providers around here. I can't take that away, but a lot of times it seems like if something's not the normal case, that's, I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
And if you start getting like going down that path, it seems like for me, at the beginning, that you're just better off to go across the bridge.
Yeah.
So,
and that was the case with this. I didn't know the doctor I saw here. I didn't know anything about. Nothing at all. And when I go see my primary care, they kind of enlightened me quite a bit. And I said, the best thing that I can do, because I'm so deep into this now. I mean, I started this process last October. And due to some, I'm not even going to call it a comedy of errors, but because of that, I got delayed. And, you know, finally got set up with MedStar, and then realized that I probably could have gone to another group here on the Eastern Shore and have them look at it, and they probably could have taken care of it. But at that point, I'm so far along now, I can't wait another 3 months to go through what that other group is going to make me do, you know, that I've already had done, just because they're established with another hospital, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I kept the MedStar appointment, and I'm glad I did. I mean, I got to meet the chief orthopedic surgeon and got a big boost of, we're going to get you taken care of sorry it's taking this long, and we'll have you back on the right track here before long. So that was really good, made me feel better about the whole process.
Yeah. And the other nice thing about going across the bridge like that, whether you go, whichever bridge you go across,
Yes.
like there's just more population. They do the normal stuff more, and they see more of the I don't want to say exotic, but they see more of the different stuff more.
Yeah.
And they have more resources to cycle things through. So, the practices here might have 4 OR rooms and 4 docs for each time spot, but across the bridge they have 20 and 20, and like they're able, like there's just more opportunity across the bridge too.
Yeah.
So,
or they might do 5 procedures that I had done. They might do 5 a month. They're doing 15 a day.
Right.
So it's and the efficiency that I had when I went to MedStar was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I thought I was going to be there all day, because you know how doctor's appointments are.
Mm-hmm.
Walked in, handed them my file. They took the CD, they took the x-rays, they did their thing. Yep, we need 4 more views of your shoulder. They sent me to their x-ray, literally right down the hall. They took the 4 images, came back. I went into a room. The surgeon came in. He looks at the MRI, and he started naming everything that was wrong with my shoulder. I knew of 2 items, and he had 7. And I was kind of flabbergasted about that, because I understand you might not want to do my surgery, but why don't you tell me everything that's wrong and tell me the reason why you're sending me to MedStar? And I can deal with that. But when you only tell me I have 2 issues, you're looking at the same shit that this guy's looking at, and he comes up with 7.
Yeah.
So it doesn't help their cause when they're doing things like that.
Right.
Wonder why people don't trust healthcare here on the shore, and that's why. And going across the bridge too, I count Indian River Bridge as one of those bridges, because you have to go over Indian River Bridge to get to Philly. So I do. That's how I kind of go up that way, go up Route 1, and so I count that too as going across the bridge. But Philly has some good healthcare also. I learned that the past year or so.
Yep, we've had when I was still working at the school, we had a couple kids go up there for back surgery and shoulder surgery, and the docs and the follow-ups that we got from them were phenomenal. I had a great rapport with the physicians here, and still do. Even I'm not even in the profession anymore, but just phenomenal. And those folks didn't know me at all. I could have walked in the room and slapped them in the face, and they wouldn't know who I was. So that was pretty cool. My dad is having a knee replacement in May, and they have this new facility there where it's the surgical suite, I guess on one side of the hall.
Mm-hmm.
So they take him in there, do a surgery, replace the knee. I guess as a part of the surgery, and I've heard that they want people walking pretty quickly. They walk across the hall, and it's basically a hotel room, all in the same facility. And the staff there is the docs, the nurses, the physical therapy, anything that they might need. They stay there, and my mom can stay there too. Stay there overnight, do whatever they got to do the rest of that day, the next day, and discharge them. But instead of it being in a hospital, it's much more of a hotel experience. I was like, "Damn, that's cool." I said,
"That's real good."
Right? I said, "What's that do to your insurance?" He said, "It's only like $200 more." You figure you go somewhere, you have that kind of surgery, $200 for a room for just a hotel, like
right. Well,
that's a no-brainer.
You put in the hospital room, you're going to spend that $200 anyway, because mom is going to have to go to the hotel. She's not going to be able to stay with dad. So that's you're breaking even there.
Yeah. So I'd be interested to see that. I think he was saying the doc was real excited that they had that kind of facility, and he told me the name of it, and it's a nationwide company, but it's new to where they are. But they're real excited for it.
Yeah, that's good.
So, yeah. So, yeah. Well, I think that's the latest of what's fit to print for today.
Yep. Yep.
So
that works for me.
Again, if you guys are listening, you have something to share, waywardsouls88@gmail.com. Send it to us, and we'll either get it on. We might, if it's good enough, we might get you on here to tell us your story. So until next time, enjoy the show. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.